It was getting lighter, so it was 5 or 6. And I started screaming Simon's name again. Simon!
I got myself up, got dressed and that inside the snow hole and packed everything away. There was just a horrible feeling of dread. By this stage, I strongly felt that Joe had been killed the previous day and that now I was going to die as some sort of form of, you know, retribution. But rather than just sit here, you know, feeling sorry for myself or whatever, I'll get on with it and I'll die on the way down. Very quickly, the ground dropped away steeply, so I skirted around this area of steeper ground. As I abseiled down, I could see this overhanging ice cliff, which is what I had lowered him over. So I knew that he'd have actually been hanging in space, which is the reason he couldn't get his weight off the rope. And as I went down lower, I could see to my horror, at the base of this ice cliff was an absolutely enormous crevasse. About sort of 30 feet wide and just bottomless from where I was looking at it.
Simon! He would have been up at first light, I thought, because I was desperately thirsty, and he would have been. And he would have wanted to get down and get water. And he would have wanted to find me.
Now, I did stop and pause, and I shouted across into the crevasse. I yelled and yelled and yelled, Joe, Joe. And I suppose, again, you know, with the benefit of hindsight, you know, after I got off the rope, I should have gone and looked into the crevasse to see where he was, you know. But to be quite honest, the thought, it didn't occur to me at that time. I was just convinced he was dead.
Simon! I'm absolutely convinced by 10, totally convinced that I was on my own, that no one was coming to get me. I was brought up as a devout Catholic. I'd long since stopped believing in God. I always wondered if things really hit the fan, whether I would, under pressure, turn around and say, you know, a few Hail Marys and say, get me out of here. It never once occurred to me. It meant that I really don't believe, you know, and I really do think that when you die, that's it, there's no afterlife. There's nothing. And I was thinking, how could I climb out of here? "80 foot of overhanging ice. No way, I couldn't do it with a good leg. I thought it'll be like that for days. You've got to make decisions. You've got to keep making decisions, even if they're wrong decisions. You know, if you don't make decisions, you're stuffed.
Short of dying on the ledge, my only chance was to lower myself deeper into the crevasse. I didn't know what I would find down there. I was just hoping there might be some way out in a labyrinth of ice and snow. And I really struggled to make that decision. I was so scared of going deeper.
The other option was just to sit there, blindly hoping that somehow it might get better, and I just knew it wasn't going to get better. I didn't want to look down. I was horrified at the thought it was just empty down there. I didn't put a knot in the end of the rope. If there was nothing down there, I wouldn't be able to hold the rope, and then I would fall. It would be quick.
Fuck.
And I thought, Jesus, this is big. I must have lowered myself about 80 feet from where the ice screw was at the bridge. I was now in the base of it seemed to be in the base of a crevasse that was shaped like a big hourglass. To the ceiling was probably about 160 feet. I think it's as big as St. Paul's Dome in scale. I remember looking down and there was just solid snow. And I thought, this is the bottom of the crevasse. About 50 feet away from me, there was a slope leading up. And right at the top, there was this sun coming through this hole. And it was shining, just this big beam of sunlight coming in. This was the way out I'd been looking for. I remember thinking, whoa, I can climb that slope. I bloody well will climb that slope. I'll crawl across this flat floor. And I started crawling across on my stomach. And it was a bright, sunny day. Wow, the whole world has just come back. I was lying on the snow, just laughing. That was the relief of getting out of that place.